Okay, good morning. The time is 9:06 on July 5th, 2022, and I call this a meeting of the Preston County Board of Education to order. We'll start with a brief moment of silence, and then I'll ask Mr. Zigray to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, to get started under special business, Mrs. Huggins is present to do the swearing in of our new superintendent, Mr. Martin, and our board members, Mr. Tatham, Mr. Kisner, and Mr. Zigray. Okay, Mr. Martin?
Will you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you, Bradley Martin, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as Superintendent of the Board of Education of Preston County, West Virginia, commencing this 5th day of July, 2022, to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God?
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You want them all at once? Okay. Mr. Zigray?
Please raise your right hand. Do you, Jeff Zigray, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the Board of Education of Preston County, West Virginia, commencing on this 1st day of July, 2022, and ending the 30th day of June, 2026, to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you.
Mr. Tatham?
Lucas, will you please raise your right hand? Lucas Tatham, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the Board of Education of Preston County, West Virginia, commencing this 1st day of July, 2022, and ending the 30th day of June, 2026, to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mr. Kisner?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you, Cross Kisner, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office as a member of the Board of Education of Preston County, West Virginia, commencing the 1st day of July, 2022, and ending the 30th day of June, 2026, to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God?
I will.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. Next, we will have the election of officers. At this time, we need some nominations or volunteers. Anybody interested in this chair for president? I have a nomination. I'd like to nominate Mr. Bruce Huggins as the president of the Preston County Board of Education. Mr. Huggins, do you accept your nomination?
I do.
Second.
Let's do voice. Okay, and anybody else want to throw their name in the hat? Okay, with that, we'll take a vote. Mr. Kisner?
Yes.
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 I guess yes.
Let's switch seats.
Next will be nominations for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Pam Feather for vice president.
I accept.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second. Any others? Call for a voice vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. Okay, 5-0. Next will be committee assignments. The following are what needs people on. The economic development, you have to make this bigger. The economic development, CTE, advisory, and the extension service. So we'll go to the.
Better?
Yeah. Even with glasses that read, I couldn't see it. So the first one's Economic Development Authority.
I'm currently on the board of the Economic Development Authority, so I would happily be the representative for that.
I've also indicated you stay on that assignment committee as well.
Okay, anybody else?
I would like to keep the extension committee. Been on that for years, so I'll take
Okay.
that one.
So the Economic Development will be Mr. Tatham, the Extension, Ms. Feathers, the CTE Craft,
I'd like to do the CTE craft, please.
okay? And Mr. Ziegler, I may go with that some as well,
All right.
just so you know.
Okay.
Because I'm on one of the advisory things. So Mr. Ziegler will be the official. The one thing that we will do, if you would, after you go to one of those meetings, we'll make sure Mr. Martin knows so we can have that on the agenda, so that we know what's going on. Any other committees that anybody knows of? This is the only ones we could think of. Mr. Ziegler, Ms. Feathers. Okay. Moving on, meeting dates and times. The meeting dates that were sent out by Mr. Martin was proposed based on last year's and not set in stone. And I think you guys know that. But that's why it was done, because it just follows what was done. I'm not going to read those to you. Needless to say, we'll make them public, the meeting times.
Mr. Huggins, if there's any adjustments that need to be made, I'll make note of that, and then we'll send out a revise. We'll revise that in the notes, reflect and such.
Does anybody have comments on those?
Mr. President, I would like to see that 5 o'clock move to 6 o'clock.
Do we have to have a motion to accept it and then discussion? Is this a vote?
Look, well, I probably would be right. Okay, so can I have a motion to accept the proposed schedule?
I'll make that motion.
Second for discussion.
Okay, now discussion. Sorry. First day here, first 5 minutes.
I got you.
Mr. President, I would like to see that move to 6 o'clock. I feel like 5 o'clock is probably a little bit early for those parents that would like to make it here straight from work in the day.
And I was even thinking about moving our 10 o'clock back to the later time too for the parents, but just for discussion.
The one part, at least keep, I don't know if we can do this, can you keep some in the morning? The reason I would like to see some in the morning was being able to honor the kids. One of the things I noticed that we have more kids coming when we did daytime. the high school was able to come, we had 70 that one day. Plus, the middle schools brought their kids.
I think it's been helpful also to have central office here if we have any questions. We're not 2 weeks out getting answers. But I mean, I understand the evening proposal as well.
Yeah.
And you're saying central office is only in attendance at the morning meeting of the month?
Right. Yeah.
Mr. Kisner, they can be made available if there's a pending matter, certainly.
Correct, by
The
request.
specific,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Would we like to do, say, the first meeting each quarter or every other month at a morning time of some nature to accommodate that, to make sure that we do have opportunity for students and staff that are already on campus?
That would allow both.
You know, I would be open to, I'd agree with Mr. Zigray. I know as a working, as someone still with a vocation, evenings would be better, but I do agree in the importance of having things that are during the school at least a couple times a year pre-scheduled to make sure that those are available if that was accommodated.
Yeah.
Pam, do you think that once a quarter would be enough, or you think we should do every other month with a morning meeting, or do you have any?
I mean, yeah, whatever the board thinks. We just don't always know when things come up. So, but that would give us the opportunity if we had questions.
I think every other month is reasonable for a morning meeting as opposed to a quarter. I mean, if you're talking a quarter, that's only 4 times a year. So every other month would be appropriate if we're going to change that, I think, as opposed to quarterly. And I'm also in agreement with changing it to 6 o'clock.
So, Mr. President, I move to amend the motion that every other meeting be at the 10 a.m. slot, while all other meetings are held at 6 p.m.
Okay, wait, we're back to every other meeting, or,
Every 2 months.
Or, I'm sorry, not, every other month, the first meeting of the month, I apologize. Every other month, the first meeting of the month be held at the 10 a.m. slot. with all other-
Starting in October? Or when you
Yeah,
want to start?
I think that would probably.
Because that way school could get started.
Well,
Okay, so
how about
there's-
we start in November? That way they've been in a month. Or is there something that you would normally address students with in the very first month?
not September, October, probably November would be okay, I would think, because there's activities and those things aren't.
Yeah.
Mr. Ziegler, you started to say something?
Yeah, I was just seconding whatever he
I
said.
was going to throw something else in the works.
Good.
I know we don't have to visit or meet with the LSICs anymore in their own school, but do we think we're kind of disconnected by not visiting the schools anymore? I would like to see at least one board visit through the school year. And I mean, not to nitpick and go through and see what's wrong, but just to communicate with the staff, see what all they have going on. I just think that was a really nice opportunity for us to,
Are you proposing that as one of the as where the meeting would be held? So that those local communities would be able to participate in
To
the meeting at
attend
those
and-
areas, or?
yeah. I mean, that's a thought.
I'd like to see that too.
So then put in a motion to combine all the above.
Mr. President, I move to amend the motion that the second meeting of the month, one be coordinated at each of our local community middle schools through the year as the location.
Okay, so we have a motion, any other, well, I guess we need a second. We have the motion on the floor that Mr. Kisner just made, that the second meeting of the month will be held at the local middle schools of the communities,
One
Yes.
per year, yeah.
one per year.
I mean, one at each school per year, so spread out through.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Brad?
Mr. Kisner made a proposal for the second meeting of the month will be held at local schools at least once per year.
Okay. And that is with the,
Is there any?
Do we have-
Is there a motion in regards to timing? I know there was discussion of time as well, so.
So, okay, you want to keep it at 6 o'clock with that motion?
Yeah, your current, your,
with this meeting being held at
if we,
6
if we
PM.
adopted the Second Amendment, then we would vote and adopt the First Amendment, and then we would vote and adopt the original with the amendments attached to it.
We're going, if you read our bylaws, it's simple, so let's make
Okay.
it simple.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not being mean.
We didn't vote
Make
on the
sure-
First
we haven't-
Amendment.
We haven't voted on anything.
Right.
So where are we at to vote on the,
Well, is there a, do we have?
we have to have a second, well, we don't have
Okay,
to.
I wanted to clarify, Mr. Kisner, if we just be sure in the motion, that the second meeting of the month will be held at local schools at least once per year. With this meeting time to be adjusted for all second month meetings to be adjusted from 5 to 6 PM. Is that correct?
And the first meeting of every other month be held at 10 a.m.,
Starting in November.
starting with November.
Every other month.
So it'd be November, wouldn't be December. Be November, January, March, and May.
10 PM, 10 AM, starting in November. And those months would include, what were those months again, Mr. Huggins?
November,
Okay,
January,
okay,
March,
okay,
May.
okay. Okay, so I just want to clarify if this is the motion on the table here. Mr. Kisner has made a motion for the second meeting of the month to be held at the local schools at least once per year, with this meeting to be adjusted from 5 to 6 PM as per the original schedule. In addition, that the first meeting every other month will be at 10 a.m. starting in November and include the months of November, January, March, and May. Is that accurate?
Yeah, as long as you're, all other meetings are at 6 o'clock, all other scheduled meetings are at 6, not just those meetings. But the
Right.
amendment is that all meetings are at 6,
Instead
except for those exceptions. that
All
are at 10.
others at 6.
Yeah, just to make sure you felt that was clear.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Mr. Martin just read. We have a second.
It'll take me a minute to type that one.
I second it.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Is this a voice call or is this on the?
1 second, Mr. Huggins, I'm gonna have to. 1 second. Save that. Okay. I think we're gonna have to do this as a voice vote, Mr. Huggins, because the original was to accept
Yeah.
the originally submitted, so I think I can pull this together.
Yes.
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 Yes,
Jumped in front of you.
so
Motion passes.
motion passes 5-0. Okay, and then, Mr. Martin, you'll get that out to us in an email,
Yes.
so we
It'll
can,
be updated in the notes, or the meeting notes as well.
okay. So then the next thing, anything for the next agenda that you would like to talk about?
I have two motions I'd like to make do I have to make a motion to get it on the agenda? Okay, two items on the agenda for the next meetings. One would be start a discussion and review and explanation of the current curriculum and instruction for all students. The second item for the meeting would be a discussion and explanation of our facilities and maintenance plan.
Okay. I can get that on the next agenda, which will be July 11th.
Okay.
I believe currently that the board has adopted Robert's Rules of Orders to proceed in their meetings. At the next meeting, I would like to discuss us adopting the small board rules for conducting our meetings.
And it, actually, when you read it, it's the informal part.
Okay.
So that's why I did what I did, because it actually doesn't state that it's following that.
Can you repeat that, Mr. Kisner? You want to possibly look at shifting from Robert's rules?
Us adopting to the small board Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Nope.
You got this one,
Oh,
this
we
one
can
I'm
vote?
actually doing, so this one.
Okay, sorry. It's on there.
Okay, should be up.
Pretty green it is.
Me too.
No box. You don't have one. Oh, I got one. There you go.
Okay, is everybody in?
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, motion passes 5-0.
We are adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.